old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. We're going to have to ignore this. Someone decided to do their lawn outside just now. They have a service coming over here, so I'm not sure why they're doing it now, nor why they're doing it this early in the year. It seems, I won't get into that, but I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. I decided to do it live this afternoon, and I don't do it at just 6:30 on Saturdays or Sundays because it's not part of the trading week. It's a thinly traded weekend. So on Saturday and Sunday, I try to find a time that's convenient for me to come on. And today, if I was going to come on because of what I have to do later, this was the time to come on. And the market's down 4.28%. But I wanted to highlight XRP now is looking, or it's signaling like it's going to come down to retest. More than likely, this handle support, and it would be a double bottom hold at around 50 cents. It's like 499, 498. But if it holds that area, this could act as a double bottom support. And if we look at this on the cup and handle formation, we've got one hit where we came down pretty close. And now if we double bottom here, and let's just say it pushes down right down, it says 503 here. So as it comes up on this uptrend, more on this handle support, and you can see this more if you're new. This is very important for you to see because we're on a cup and handle formation. It's a very bullish formation until it's not. And what I mean by that is until you break that, it's very bullish. Now, if you break down through this, there are levels to consolidation. Worst case scenario, you could go down to 4.7 cents. And I highlight and I stress that by saying that is worst case scenario. We have a pattern that supersedes this in time length from this cup and handle, and that's the overall pattern we're in. So we still don't want this to break down. If it breaks down, we don't want it to break past this uptrending support that's been here ever since we made the all-time highs in 2018. Took us 27 months until March of 2020 to make the new pattern uptrend at just over 10 cents. And it's held ever since. So now if we were to break down, you'd be looking at that hit at 38 cents if we lose the handle support. Would more than likely be your big support area. And if that broke, then it's a whole nother slew of problems. But you also have in the rising channel, I mean, it's technically you could say we're in a rising wedge right now, but the way that I'm emphasizing this is how it stayed within a channel formation. If you cut off the high wicks, the high presses up that ended up playing out as fake outs, you can clearly see a decisive pattern formed here on an uptrending support, uptrending resistance. So you can see this. You're making higher highs and higher lows as you go across. You've had a few areas of fake outs like we've said, but for the most part, if you just keep this into a channel and don't look at the wedge part of it, you can still see how this can, if it breaks through this, you would have a target down. And it's hard to say if it's going to be that 38 cents, but it's pointing between 38 and even as far down as 30 cents. If you go into these type of the formations, and this goes back to 2022. So obviously the overall 78-month consolidation would supersede this, and you would have to get through that 38 cent support first. But right now, you're looking pretty good if you were to break down into the areas we know. That's why if we lose this handle support, it's going to be a big deal. That handle support's a big deal. And this lines up pretty close to the handle, almost right on it at 503. So it's a perfect spot to emphasize the important, because if you lose this spot, you're going to get a significant correction. Now, what's working for us right now, we're getting pretty oversold in the 4-hourly. Same thing in the 3-hourly. This move out or down is just helping the cause right now for another bullish reversal here. Now, how far can we come down is the question. That's the only question we have. We'll look at one more chart to try to show us that if we have a short-term wick that comes farther. But this is on the channel. If we come down here, if we come through, we do have, and this is why we could come down slightly further and still be okay, but I wouldn't really want to come down farther. So I still think on this chart, we still have to give all the credit to the handle. And then this was going to be the expansion zone where we could have broke up into our new uptrend, but it invalidated this with this, at least this breakdown now. Now the question is, when is the retest going to be on the backside of some of this? This would suggest 64, but that's not what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at if we can hold this, not even all the way back up here, I'm not even looking at 60. What I'd be looking at is the first back test. I guess maybe that would be now because it's in the uptrending area. I guess I can live with that. So if you came back up, you first would be retesting. If we broke back up, you would have a clear and decisive move, more than likely up back to 60 cents. That's it, 608. So let's just say XRP, let's just say we hold, we'll give it down to 50 cents is how far it wants to come. If it holds 50 cents, you're looking at a reversal of 21.9% just to see if we're still bearish in that range. Because if you don't break down, you're going to continue to bounce in here. So, and the only other way to look at it is how much higher would we come up? Well, it suggests an even bigger move within this part of the formation, so in the rising channel. And then if you go even farther and you go to the all-time pattern, this would suggest a retest on this expansion zone, yes. But then if you get past there, you're looking at about, again, that 64.4 cent area. So we've got some healthy retest that will come because we're oversold. So at some point, unless it just drops it down and we come all the way down to this target down here, and this again, these are down at 38 cents. So that's a possibility. The other plausible possibility, as we showed yesterday, is that this just formed a big bear flag. And now we've already done our consolidation that we talked about yesterday was coming. And now if that's the rejection right here, you could open up the door to maybe having a technical target of somewhere around 44 cents. But even that's going to break down that handle support. So this puts you into a pretty interesting spot. So as we start putting this together, we're in an interesting spot here for XRP. The one thing that is really working in our favor is the fact we're pushing ourselves in some pretty oversold areas now. But even in the short term, it looks like a small bear flag form. I mean, it feels like to me we're going to come back down towards 50 cents with what I'm seeing. I don't even know how we would avoid this now, to be honest. Just, it feels like we need to come down farther now. If we came all the way down here, unless this is just filling this wick up, but right now I'd be surprised if it doesn't come try to retest this low point. I would. Especially because when you look into the higher time frames, you've got some nice engulfing candles here right now. That's for sure. So that's what I'd be looking at right now for XRP, but I wouldn't be fearing it. Honestly, I've got money to the side right now. I'm already invested in XRP, but I'm looking for a healthy swing trade here. If we hold this area I'm talking about, it's going to be a substantial amount of money I put on it, to at least in regards to a swing trade. And I have no more flexibility now because of it being on BITUNIX, so that I don't have to worry about the extraordinary fees to uphold, which I ran into a lot of them again by having positions that I've had open for over a year, and some of them closed now because I had limit orders for when they hit certain areas over the past few days. It's closed now. I didn't want that to happen, but I also was up several 100% on a lot. But I found out firsthand these fees are freaking ridiculous. For instance, I made $1,800 profit on one of my trades, and it cost me over $100 in fees because it classified it as a high time of volatility, even though the trade was made at the 3% mark out of about a 13% drop on this particular asset, which to me is bullshit. And now it's come down to another 6% today. But it's just, there was over and over and over. I hit over $300 in fees when it was selling out through limit orders, and I can't have that keep happening. And these were things I had open for over a year, you know, and it just finally came to a point where they hit their thresholds. Algo was one of them. That one cost me the most, which was, I don't want to get into it, but you might as well just take away 5% of your profits on uphold, at least. So if you're looking at BITUNIX, the lowest spot leverage and spot trading fees in the USA and abroad even, but USA for me. You don't need a VPN. KYC isn't even necessary. I've never done it. If you withdraw or deposit from another exchange, and that's in the video description below and or pinned comments, and I'll continue to stress this point. I'm not here to make the exchanges rich. In 2021, I was naive and dumb. In 2024, I know all of the ins and outs. So I'm not doing it no more, and neither should you. Honestly, if you're a long holder, so be it, but I got wrecked in 21 on uphold when I sold. And I made a lot of money, but they took a lot of it away. You're talking 8% in high times of volatility. I mean, when you cash out 13, 14,000 and they take over 1,000, yeah. You know, so that's why. So when we're looking through this, I only speak like this because we're getting into times right now where it's definitely a steal right now with some of the stuff that's happening, assuming we don't flash a lower signal. Right now, if we hold the 50-cent range, we're confirming a pretty massive reversal here. We've already shown the initial move should push you about 20% with this drop. It really should. You've created the short-term resistance at 53.8, 55.4, but really the only real resistance I'm concerned about is 608 right now. 608, and that's the handle mid-tier resistance. And then if you get above that, yeah, there's a couple different areas at like 64.4, but that's above what we're talking about. So I think there's a lot of opportunity floating around here. I think there's a lot of people that are really misunderstanding what's happening here. And I've spoke the last 2 days about the options, not about what I'm going to do, but the options about what you could do with XRP if it broke down. If you broke the handle, there's a couple choices you could make. You could either sell out, or if you've got the money to the side, every 20% down, if it does take the incredible journey, you can buy more. Every day you can buy an allotted amount. Let's say you want to buy $20 a day when it gets below 50 cents. Start buying $20 a day. $20 a day doesn't seem like a lot. That's $560 a month. If it stays below 50 cents for a year, that's $6,000 you throw into there just on 20 bucks a day. Just consider, wait a minute. Yeah, that's over $6,000. So just consider that on 20 bucks a day. You know, so we're getting to the point where once you get to 2-for-1 XRP, 3-for-1, God forbid 4 and 5-to-1, but once you get over 2-to-1, I find it a steal. I do. Although I bought in at 34 cents, there's a chance that when we come through here, I'm just going to start buying it at different levels because I can't see myself just getting rid of it because I don't see the point. I've already made so much profit off of the same money that's back in XRP, it would seem stupid. Plus, I don't want to start the clock over again. And there's just a lot of other reasons. I just made a lot of money with some of these limit orders that sold, so I'm not in a position where I need the XRP money at all. In fact, I'm in a much better position because I've even got more on the side that I can make some noise now. I can make some noise once again, and it's pretty interesting. Another thing we're going to touch on, XRP healthcare. Everybody's been asking me in the comments the last couple of days. It's been up and down today. It was up about 16%, 17% at the max. Right now it's about 7%. But it's in a very strong consolidatory zone. And then obviously we're going to have to talk about Bitcoin. I have no idea if anybody's even going to be watching right now because, hey, it's Saturday. And I came on when I had a chance. But I like to come on the weekends still. I even did a short right before I came on. I don't even know why. I did a short and I'm like, you know what? I need to come on for my live because I've got about an hour here. So we'll see what we can do here. We'll relax at some point during this as well. But honestly, a lot of people ask me, what are these people doing? A lot of people always ask me, why do you come on during the weekends and not take a break? Until the day crypto takes a break on the weekends, I'm not taking a break. I've never taken a day off. If you're new, I've been doing this since March 30th of 2021, and I have not missed a single day. So over 3 years, and I don't ever plan on missing a day. So with that being said, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. It'll allow my content to scroll through the YouTube algorithm, which means when somebody's going through their feed, I'm recommended. And then you'll be able to find my channel whether for the first time or by chance, or you're somebody who's been here before and you missed watching the content, you'll be alerted. Right now, the one thing with Bitcoin I'll continue to say, we need to get back on top of here. However, we've created another slightly smaller pattern, which we'll go into as we start. But we're watching this very closely because we want Bitcoin back over 67,400 area so that we don't signify a bigger drop for Bitcoin, which, as some know, FE4 Life, a couple others that have sent me stuff, they know that we could turn into an inverted head and shoulders here. And it's interesting what could come of this, to be honest. I actually have a chart I want to show as well with relating to Bitcoin, which we'll get into that. We'll get into all of this. But it's definitely one that's interesting when it comes to Bitcoin. So we'll get to that as well. So I do appreciate anybody who's watching here on this beautiful Saturday, by the way. This is the Lord's Day. I know Sunday I like to go to church Sunday morning so I can get a good feel when I wake up at the end of the week. But Saturday is the real day of grace. So don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Saturday here in the great state of Michigan. So let me get to the intro. So good mid-afternoon, 2:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, April 13th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So for the ones who are new, I have this thing going with the audience where I told them back in July of last year I broke some bones in my hands before him and said, it's a big mess. I told them I would not cut my hair after Julie cut it last July until XRP hits $1. And as you can see, it's been 10 months roughly now, just over almost 10 months, and my hair is getting pretty long here, folks. So if you're wondering why I look like a homeless man sometimes, which, you know, if I am homeless, at least you're getting good advice from me. That's the deal. If you're wondering why my hair is so long, and I actually feel blessed I can do this, because I just turned 40 in December, so I feel pretty good that I can actually do this. So that's what's going on there. I appreciate the ones that have come out here on this Saturday. I really do. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. It's hard to even fathom that anybody would be here on a Saturday, to be honest. But let me just get into a few of the comments real quick. I know we've got the buzzing behind us, but they're almost done. They're almost done, but you know, they're working. It's nice to hear people out here telling you we're getting back into the growing season. My peach tree that I planted, it's 3 years old now. It's because I bought it, it was 2 years old when I bought it. Last year, no fruit. This year, there's flowers on it. So there's a very real chance that my peach tree could get fruit this year. And I'm very excited. Very excited. And I've already got my strawberries are growing back this year. So I'm actually rather excited about that as well. Jason Sutta, welcome in. And thank you for being part of Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Mario, Louise, Willamese. And you know what, everybody? I am very excited to see there's only 80 people in here. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I love having 250 people in here like yesterday, or 180 in the second live yesterday. But I'm going to be honest. When there's 75, 80 people, under 100, it's so much easier for us to have a back and forth and not have a lot of the mischief. Because the more you get expanded through the analytics or the reach, the more you get people with not good grades coming in. And a lot of times you see it can ruin the flow. So at least today to start, it looks like a very nice group in here, to be honest. And I love seeing who's in here. Mario Luis Willamese, I love that name so much. Niev, welcome, and another name I like a lot. A lot of names I like in here, to be honest. Like Axel, it reminds me of Axel Foley from, what was it, the Beverly Hills Cops when I was younger. With Axel Foley, I used to love that movie. Let's see. Infamous, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for several months here, friend. I greatly appreciate that. Marie Harrington, welcome in. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine, along with Axel, both mods. I appreciate that. Israel, let's see, what was this? Millie, welcome in. Kryptonian, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Dusty and Trading with J-Rod, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XB589 badge. Stanley says unparalleled track record there. I greatly appreciate it. Trading with J-Rod says hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Israel says, hi, Tom. Have you looked into Sonomuse on the XRP Ledger? They let you own fractions of music, which earns you XRP every time the music is streamed. Ooh. No, but I am going to... If you, my friend, and I know this is going to take a minute out of your time, and this is very important to me because I've been looking at a lot more stuff on the ledger, on the DEX. Can you please send me an email to what I just put on the screen? That's me. That's strutregali@gmail.com, and email me that, because I will gladly, after this, look much more into that, because I think that sounds actually pretty interesting. Pretty interesting there. Hold on 1 second. Let me finish through the comments. It's not going to be as hard today, although it's a little harder than I thought it would be. George, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Martin, welcome in. Hey, Tom, showing us 1.2% up in the last hour here. Yeah, it's come up off of right around 52 cents so far. Stanley, it is an absolutely beautiful day here. XGTT, thank you for being in. And he says prime time in the UK at 8 p.m. Welcome in, mate. I appreciate you tuning in. Tom M with the $25 donation. Wow. I know you like BITUNIX, but what is your thoughts on PHEMEX? I already have some. I love. Let me be honest. You all know I used to talk about PHEMEX, but they stopped allowing new users in the USA, so that's when I had to find a new way. I came across from somebody in the audience, BITUNIX, and they showed me it during a high times of trading when it was still up. They said they've been using it. XRP's been on there, and they had trading license. So I did like a beta test for 6 months before I started even talking about it to the audience. And PHEMEX I love. I would not advise you to take your money off of PHEMEX if you're already grandfathered in. PHEMEX is a fantastic platform. I had nothing but good things to say about it. Unfortunately, like BitGet and MEXC, PHEMEX turned their back on us and won't allow new users in the USA. If you have the ability to use it, I love PHEMEX personally still. It's just we can't sign up new users, so there's really no point for me to support it because I talk on social media, on YouTube. So if my audience wants to buy something in the USA, and I'm talking about a platform that I'm using, that it just becomes a mess. But personally, PHEMEX has been very good, very good. Let's see, Sean Robinson, good evening. I appreciate you tuning in. Just an update, Tom. Be careful with the swap feature on XBH wallet. 3 days ago, I lost 500 XRP in swap. Should have received 5,000 and didn't get any. Sent hashtag and contacted support. Okay, well, watch how that plays out as well. Just heed that warning. I thank you for putting that warning up there as well. And yes, please make sure to hit that like button as we go through this live. So, what we're looking at here today, and with Bitcoin, we very well could start a reversal at some point here. We just need to come back over this pattern formation and not push it farther down. We do have an uptrend that goes a little bit farther back, but we're trying to build off of the formation here, at least I was. But you could see it coming out just a little bit farther here, and that wouldn't be an issue. So just watch that as Bitcoin is looking to, and it almost looks like that's probably, if you just play it out a little bit, if you play it out a little bit farther, that's what we're seeing. The shorter time, it's come through. Nothing we can really do with it. Man, that sun is bright right here. So hard to see this. Hold on. I'm sure you guys can, oh fuck. I'm sure you can tell how bright it is here though. And I want to do this outside because it's a nice day out. I didn't really think anybody was gonna, I don't know. With the way the market's been going, I figured everybody would take a break on Saturday. I'm just surprised that I'm not surprised anybody's here, but I'm surprised that it's so active. I like it. So if we take this from the start here, we're just gonna put it into the entirety of the pattern now. It's giving us the proof here now. See, a lot of times it's easier to judge a pattern when you don't have to guess it. So if we look at it from the entirety, we can look at it like this. We'll move the short term and we'll just look at it for what it is. That's what it's, if you take the entirety of this consolidation, this is what we're looking at. So technically Bitcoin, the short term narrative, it's come down below that. That retest of that wick there pretty much is an exhaustion wick as it turns out, because that can be played as a bear flag back down. So I mean, if you're looking at a real floor here and you're feeling uncomfortable here, 63,500 is not a bad area. And that still looks like a massive, you could say that's a bull flag consolidation. 2 hourly, it looks a little dicey. But if you break it back into the daily, you can start to see this now, how this could be the bull flag consolidation. I don't see anything wrong with this, actually. It's just if you're going from shorter time frames, you have to keep it narrow. But now that it's expanded out, we can talk about it for what it is. Support, resistance, support, resistance. Now, wouldn't it make sense to hit support a third time? And then if it's meant to break out, and then if it's meant to break down, and we can get a more prolonged and more significant target here by doing it like this. We already know that short-term target of retesting the broadening wedge on a breach out. And it's important for XRP's sake too, because if Bitcoin stays bullish, it's a good thing. However, at some point here, Bitcoin or XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin by a wide margin. And I suspect it's probably going to come after the halving based on the XRP Bitcoin pairing. It's just out of whack right now. That thing is setting up a major reversal on Bitcoin. Whether it means Bitcoin drops harder than XRP or it means XRP rallies harder than Bitcoin, we won't know until it happens. But it's setting up a major, major reversal in the trajectory for XRP in terms of the pairing with Bitcoin. And we can look at that chart after this. But if you're looking at a more pronounced target for Bitcoin, and you're looking at the entirety now, since we're showing the entirety, if you come down below that broadening wedge, that 49,000 area is starting to look pretty sexy here. And that's a retest. That used to be old resistance, which is so ironic how this shit works. Look how close that old resistance that is too, before we broke out of that broadening wedge. So that's pretty interesting with Bitcoin if you take the entirety. So you're not going to be able to switch up the Bitcoin pattern anymore. You can't take the shorter time frame now. You have to take it into account the entirety of what looks like a bull flag setup. And then out of the initial break out of these patterns, that's what you'd come up with. And then if you got bullish off of that, then you could take the whole flag and you could come up to 115. But other than that, you know, this is what we got to look at. And this is no bullshit added. This is all short term here. No, who cares? I'm tired of the short term. This is what it would play out to be. And your chance to not have this happen is have the bull flag hold. It's that simple. You need this to hold. Oh, fuck. Of course I would hit that. See, TradingView always grabs at things you don't want it to grab, but that's okay. Very easy to put this back on. But that's why I like when the patterns start to form themselves. Because when you have to guess, it's fun in the short term, but that's why they say don't trade between the lines. Trade when you see the support resistance. You're not supposed to trade the middle of the pattern on the short time frames. That's the reason why. The rest of it's fun and games. It's how we can have some content here in the short time frame. But ultimately, you're looking at the overall pattern when it gives you the ability. I always tell you, I don't switch things up until I do the lives or my updates. I try to save it for the live. Now, for anybody who tuned in the live, this is invaluable information because now you can see, yes, it looks a little bearish, but it's not as bearish as it seems on appearance, honestly. It's not. So, with Bitcoin, you know, that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at 63,300 if it continues down. I'm not really sure why it wouldn't. Unless we can get some volume here. The only thing that would stop us is if we can somehow retake 67,200 area, 300 area now, with that 200-day flowing through there. So if it does come down, that's our logical retest spot. That's our logical retest area. And yes, that's why I said, I'm not really interested in what could be the short term, but I know someone's going to draw this. And that's how you could say, oh, well, maybe that's a short term move. Well, I'm not really interested in the short term. We can have that there just in case, but I'm more interested in maybe what's building here. That could be, however, that could be a real area of support because look, this is where it becomes weird. Because at some point you got to break the traditional and then rotate yourself out and over if it's bullish. We had support when we came through, came around, and now we're actually back in that same support. So it's possible that maybe we did support now like that. But if it breaks below that, we know the pattern formation. But that's what it looks like. At least to me, that's what it's looking like. We're going to relax here together. We have a smaller audience here this afternoon, which I think that tells you something. One, I know I'm getting shadow banned very badly, and I've been getting a lot of messages, and there's nothing I can do about that. If YouTube doesn't show the notification, I can't do anything about it. I wish I could. I really do. I wish I could do something about it. But, you know, I do appreciate the due diligence of everybody. With XRP, and I know for some reason nobody ever wants to talk about or Bitcoin, but some days, you know, with what's going on, it's relevant. It's very relevant. So you've got that with Bitcoin, but with XRP, the main thing that I'm watching right now, XRP, we are in this little bit of a channel formation. If it does break down from here, it technically could signal a move down to 30 cents. But this, once again, this isn't the grand pattern. This is a shorter and constructed view. When you look at XRP from around 2022, it formed that channel if you're looking at the major hits. But if you go through the overall setup of the pattern, we're still in this handle setup, the cup and handle. And as long as this handle support holds, this is fine. This is a traditional retest. That 504 should hold fine, or down to 50 cents. But as long as this holds, you're setting up a major reversal. A major bullish reversal. And because we're in the cup and handle, until this gives way, we're looking pretty good here. That's about all I can say for that. And we already know our first real area, if we want to come back through, we've got to start breaking back down. And these are just targets if it did, for whatever reason, not find the support, and you start using these as bear flags here all of a sudden. This is what could start to form here, these drop layers of support. So I always want to put that on the screen. I always want everybody to see. I know it makes some nervous, but it really is what needs to be paid attention to. And while I have everybody's attention during this live, let's take a look very quickly at some of the things that I want to talk about. So after the halving, this is how XRP could surge against Bitcoin, or how high XRP could surge during the halving. So please make sure to hit that like button. I really need your help today. By hitting that like button, you'll assure that this reaches a wider audience. So I greatly appreciate everybody who's tuning it in. Stanley says, I've noticed it too. Haven't been notified in the lives this past week. I know it's a bummer. It's a true bummer. That's why I don't know how so many people found their way to me yesterday. Well, I mean, we consistently have like 150. But unless I come on at 6:30, as you see today, it's dicey. Everybody knows when I come in at 6:30. But on the weekends, it's different. You know, it's not a normal trading day. And today, I don't have the ability to come on, to my knowledge, at 6:30, unless something changes. But I wanted to put my due diligence in. But, you know, my hope is when I get banned, you know, the shadow ban from YouTube, that when it goes public to everybody, at least everybody's able to see the content. And Tanya actually messaged me as well, and I hope you were able to see this today, but I don't see Tanya in here either. But she told me that she has not been getting it. Is there some way I can talk to YouTube? I wish there was, but there's nothing I can say. They don't listen. They tell me my audience needs to put on the notification, and it's like, that's, of course they have that on. They have the, you know, it's set up to where when I go live, they can hear it. Or when my content comes out, they're supposed to be alerted. Like, that's the first thing that they would do. Kyle, good job. Yep, you paid attention to the 60-cent area, that if it broke that, the likelihood was we could retest that handle support. And it's not because I wanted it to. It's just that was, somebody asked me if they were going to sell because they had to do something, where would the spot be because they had to pay bills. I don't believe it was Kyle. I don't even think. But you took advantage. But somebody asked me during a live and they said, Tom, where would you sell XRP? Because I need to sell my XRP because I have something I need to use the money for. What would be the best time if I want to buy back in cheaper? And I said, if XRP breaks 60 cents and confirms it, we're going to go back down to 50 cents and you'll be able to buy back at 50. And that's what's happened right here. So maybe it was Kyle because you talked about your car. But that's what I was trying to give the advice for. Yes, maybe. I've suggested that too for people, Infamous. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then the bell notification, turn that to off and then turn it to all and see if that helps. Kyle said, I'll read that in a second, but I appreciate the support for everybody who's found their way here. It's tremendous. He said, bought my car and now I got the money back. I'm going to buy another. Yeah, see, Kyle, that's what I was hoping for because you said that you'd have it back. You just needed it initially to buy something. But now I remember you were talking about your car too. So this perfect case scenario for you. You sold at 60 cents and even today it's down 7 cents a token. This is what dreams are made of. And you got to take all that profit and spend it towards obviously the cars. So Honestly, that makes me really happy. So Bitcoin's price movements typically influence the performance of XRP or other crypto assets, including XRP in particular. Crypto prices usually soar whenever there is a spike in Bitcoin value and vice versa. With the highly anticipated Bitcoin halving expected to occur by April 19th or the 20th, market watchers expect the event to pave the way for the next bull run. I still don't understand that though, because the halving has no impact on us, only the miners. And typically we have about a 20 to 30% pullback. But leading in to the halving, we've never achieved the all-time high push like this in the way we have. Nothing about this halving makes sense because of the ETF. And then remember, there's a catalyst that'll drive money. To think that there's no money going to be pushed through to Bitcoin, everybody needs to just remember Hong Kong, ironically, on the day of or just the day before of the halving, they're making the ETF. So, for Bitcoin, so pay attention. Pay attention. So, analysts are expecting the upcoming Bitcoin halving to usher in the same trend observed in previous markets. So I don't think you can look at the previous trend. I don't. It bears mentioning that the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit prevented XRP from recording significant gains during the last bull market, while other assets registered new all-time highs in 21. And this is why I think XRP still remains such a good deal. And I'm going to go back to good buying habits for everybody. Instead of selling and showing how if you have good technical analysis or whatever, that you could sell it and then buy it at another number. I bought at 34 cents. And if and when it gives me the opportunity on the way back down, I'm going to show you good buying habits on the way back down. And we're going to build an even bigger bag than I ever thought possible. And we're going to keep building it until it comes back up for the 2 to... I'll build it down and up until it comes back to 2 to 1. That's my promise to the community if you keep watching. We're going to build bags that people are going to be like, whoa. And I'm going to say this isn't what I intended, but now with the opportunity, now because so many people talk shit about XRP, it makes me want to buy more. So I'm taking a whole new mindset now with XRP. I've already got what I want, but now we're going to be building on it extraordinarily in a fashion that it's XRP, yes, but also off of the XRP ecosystem through the DEX and through the ledger. We're going to find the gems here. And just like with XRP Healthcare, there's a few of them that I'm getting more and more interested in now with these drops that I'm going to be bringing to the public very, very soon. And no, it's not ones you have to worry about that I can get paid for like you see on every other channel when they promote a token. And then all you have to do is do one search and say, what kind of affiliate marketing can you do for this tokening to make money? And then when you see that they get offered 50% to push that token for anybody who buys it, that's a liquidity scam. You don't want that kind of piece of shit. I'd say as far away from those. You can't do that with XRP. You can't do it with the ones we hold. They won't give you affiliate to try to get somebody to buy it. There's no reason to because they have long-term prospects. Those shit tokens you got to be careful about. Because the allure of quick runs up, what they don't tell you is all those run-ups, most people can't even sell out because all of the ones who are holding initially, like the YouTubers and the ones who are bringing out the token, they have their tokens on the side, and once any kind of real rally happens, they just sell them off. And then you're down to dick for years. It happens all the time. So now the projected, and I just don't like when people get caught in it, that's all. That's why it bothers me. Projected XRP price after Bitcoin halving. We have compiled a list of predictions for XRP after the Bitcoin halving, and I like reading this stuff. Prominent market analyst Leb projected that XRP will hit its previous all-time highs of $3.84 before or right after the Bitcoin halving. At the current exchange rate of 54%, XRP is, or 54.5 cents, XRP is down 85.85% from its previous peak price. And that's something else we talk about. For anybody who was here in 21, when we owned XRP before we sold it at $1.66 on its failed run back up to try to retest that top in 21, we were talking about how you'd save 85, 90, 95% on the dollar. And right now it's still 85% off from all-time highs. So imagine there's somebody sitting here about 10,000 tokens. I'll continue to push this point. They spent for 10,000 tokens 35 grand at 350. Right now for those same 10,000 tokens, do you think they're not a little pissed that they could buy them for 8,000 or 5,450 bucks right now? They're pissed. They could have saved $30,000 to buy 10,000 tokens. There's a lot of collateral differential here. And just like we talk about wicks not being filled, or there's the gaps, the fair value, whatever, some people use FEG, but the fair value gaps, or just the gaps that are left in the market, there's a lot of gaps held in that $3.50, $3. I mean, there's tremendous gaps up there because we've never gone back. We've never even retested it. So all the gaps we filled coming back down, just imagine what's above. It's only going to take one big cataclysmic moment for this whole thing to just, I'm telling you, the more buzz, the more it made me rethink my whole strategy with XRP. Because outside of a year, there's no way I would have ever just said, oh, if it loses 50 and I know it's going to 38 or whatever, that I'm going to hold it through that. I'm changing my own opinion because I'm going to do what I did in 21. I raised my average from 38 cents to 47 while I was on the air as we were buying. Every time it did this, when it went up to 90 and came back down under 50, I would buy. And sometimes I'd buy at 60 because I was feeling good. And then I got into a rhythm of buying every fucking day. So then I didn't even care about the price. So that's what we're going back to. All the shit talking people do about XRP. Everybody who seems to think they know what XRP is all about. We're just going to start doing something a little different around here. We already have a great buy-in at 34 cents with everything we wanted. But now we're just going to start building on top of it when the chance presents itself. If it presents itself here soon. So my focus is being in a different direction now. Last month, another famous expert, Credit Bull, forecasted that XRP would spike over 100% against the Bitcoin pair after Bitcoin halving. And I can see that just on the Bitcoin XRP Bitcoin pairing, it's going to have a significant reversal. So furthermore, Jake Gagin asserted that XRP's price could hit $5.85 by 2025. Now that's just speculation. Several months after the Bitcoin halving. His prediction aligns with a similar forecast by Dark Defender. None of these people's forecasts ever come true, though, so how can you listen? Oh, here we go. This is something I'm interested in. Meanwhile, popular AI chatbot Google Bard projected that XRP could reach $38.50 if Bitcoin hits $100,000 past halving. It could also expect the coin to spike to $45 if Bitcoin, or $46.50 should Bitcoin surge to 250K. I don't mind that. All right, I like what who was this? Google AI chatbot Google Bard. I like his analysis, but you know, I find that interesting. But yeah, different is good. Different is good. That's why I like to read other people's opinions. In the meantime, XRP trades for 54.5 cents, down 10.45% over the past 24 hours. The leading crypto asset is currently ranked as the 7th largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of $29.94 billion, which lets you believe you already know who passed us back up. United States digital currency. And then I believe there was one other thing I wanted to read. What does that say? 43 minutes? Holy crap. Has it really been 43 minutes? If you could please find it in your heart to hit that like button, it would greatly, greatly help my cause here. As many of you are starting to realize just how easily they do shadow ban the channel. And I would apologize, but there's nothing I can apologize for because I don't know how to fix it. I've tried with YouTube. But just hit that like button. If you watch my content, hit the like button and you will have a greater chance of seeing it because you're reacting to my content. If you react, they like it. Then they see ad revenue that they can promote my channel. So XRP price prediction for April 13th. Oh, there we go, Sean. See now, yep. Okay, good. Good. Because I needed something to get my face slapped a little bit. You know, a reason why and to reinvigorate me to continue to add in for a moment. And this is starting to do it right now. So the price of XRP has dropped by 8.71% since yesterday. On the hourly time frame, the rate of XRP is trading within the narrow range between the support of 53.9 cents and the resistance of 54.9. I'm sorry, I need to go grab my water. These are warm and I have one in the freezer. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. My throat was a little dry, and then my cat wanted its food because it's outside with me. So on the hourly time frame, the rate of XRP is trading within the narrow range between the support of 53.9 cents and the resistance of 54.9 cents. If buyers lose the interim level of 54.5 cents, the drop may lead to the test of 54-cent area tomorrow. Today's fall has not affected the overall technical picture on the daily chart. Currently, the price is far from the key levels, which means any sharp moves are unlikely to happen soon. And if we go a little bit farther, and all sideways trading in the area of 53 to 56 cents is the more likely scenario for the next few days. From the midterm point of view, one should focus on the weekly bar closure in terms of the support level of 51.4 cents, which is an absolutely beautiful spot. And that's why that's mainly the line why I decided to use this, because we have the weekly candle close tomorrow. And anybody who does an analysis who understands that that's important, it at least is worth me reading it. So I like reading articles when I come across this. I seen it on TradingView. Or they had the chart on TradingView, and then when I seen who wrote the article, it came to this. From the midterm point of view, one should focus on the weekly bar closure. Just listen to this. One should focus on the weekly bar closure in terms of the support level at 51.4 cents. So ultimately, we would like to show some strength here and close over that 51.4 cent support level in the technical realm. If it happens near that mark, the accumulated energy might be enough for a breakout to the 46 to 50 cent area. XRP is trading at 54.3 cents, and we've seen the technical drops. If we were to succumb, that we could drop and have a quick wick down, a very quick test of support down in that range. So I respect that analysis. I actually like it. And that was done by Denise Shirachek. So 5 years of trading experience, technical and fundamental market analysis. So you can tell, definitely has that understanding of fundamental market understanding at least. And this is on You Today if you're interested. So that's that. Oops. It's always good to look at some analysis against your own. I do like doing that, and I like to read what other people have to say. Oh, speaking of which, shoot. I actually have a chart. Somebody sent me... let's see. Please review. Oh, here we go. This is it. Whoops. What did I just do here now? Oh, no, I think I just deleted the other one that I wanted. Let me... Oh, man. Why isn't this opening? Well, I guess we'll do that later. We'll do that on the next live, I guess. But that was just a chart. I need to review it more anyhow. But I wanted that to open up. Why didn't it open up? And then Stanley, wait a minute. Stanley, you just sent me something. I think Stanley's in here. Stanley, did you want me to read that during the live? And oh, man, I didn't want to delete that MEXC thing. It talked about the new maker-taker fee. Right now, if you are on MEXC, damn it, that's why I saved that email. It talked about how I can't see in the sun, but it talked about how they have a 0% fee right now if you're 0% spot and futures trading fees right now. So if you buy spot, there's no fees at all. And there's a link in the video description below and or pinned comments. If you're looking to get into MEXC, but no USA users that are new can use it. So if you're out of the USA, take advantage of their no fees that pop back up on spot and leverage trading. It's for sure on spot going forward. It might only be the first level. I don't know. But the spot trading for now, there's no fees, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so okay, Stanley, so you gave me the green light to do that. That's what I needed to see because I didn't want to invade on what you sent me because I had no idea what you sent me. Okay, perfect. So, XRP user, thank you for this, Stanley. And if anybody, you know, ever wants to send me something, like I said, I shared, it's strutrugali@gmail.com. STRUTRUGALI@gmail.com. That's strutrugali@gmail.com. Yes, Kryptonian, we are still live, my friend. We are still live. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. We've been live for, what is it, 50 minutes now. We've had a nice bunch here today. So Stanley, thanks for sharing this, and this is important. Oh, this might be talking about what we were talking about earlier today. Is this the new protocol that they're trying to push through? And this could actually help us earn money on our XRP finally. So XRP users to earn directly on XRPL as Ripple looks to launch native lending protocol. So this is awesome because this will piggyback. I tried to share, well, I did share in my earlier update, not this particular article, but this will highlight exactly what I talked about earlier. So this is perfect. Thank you for this, Stanley. Seriously, I like when people send me stuff. So more avenues for XRP holders to earn on the X. So this would even be more of an incentive to buy more XRP as we go lower. If we, like for me, once I get 2 for $1, I have no problem adding on to my bag from 34 cents. And like I said, instead of selling, I'm just going to start adding on. 2 for $1, even though it's close now, maybe I'll just start buying so many a day. I have my allotment at 34, but I don't even care about the average. At this point now, it's going to be how many can I get under 50 cents? Or how many can I get when it's close to 50 and below? Because I'm changing my whole mindset. Instead of just having the 10,000 that are being saved forever, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll build it into 20, 34. Who knows how much I'm going to build it into? But now I have a drive because everybody keeps talking about how big of a piece of shit XRP is, that now I want to buy more and more. And then when it goes up, it's just the, you know, it's just the old, basically the old Jada. So more avenues for XRP holders to earn on the XRP ledger are emerging as Ripple recently proposed a native lending protocol. And honestly, on this drop, it allowed me more capital. I know it's weird to say that, but a lot of my stuff that I was up a lot on, I had limit orders set for a long time after I got outside of a year, and they hit their points within some of these drops the last few days. And now I have added capital to reapproach my approach. So it's really nice. On Friday, Aniko Maltra, the head of research at RippleX and Ripple software engineer BITUNIX BITUNIX, jointly proposed on XRPL native lending protocol under the XLS 66D specification. And this is from RippleX itself. Their official X, I believe this is, formerly known as Twitter. Today, devs Anshama Hotri and Vito Tomas introduced a proposal for a native lending protocol in the XRP ledger that would further expand its DeFi capabilities. Let's break down what this means for the ecosystem. They did not show the rest. I'm sure they'll talk. So the announcement comes 4 weeks after the Crypto Basic first disclosed that efforts are underway to introduce an XRPL native lending protocol. Notably, the unveiled proposal seeks, I remember reading something about this a few weeks ago on the Crypto Basic as well. I like to read this one. They do give good information. I remember reading something when they were talking about the possibilities of this after the AMM amendment actually went through. We're building up to something that I don't think most people really fucking understand. So you're going to see a different approach here now that we've gotten back into these targets. I'm telling you something. There's a reason why so many whales are picking up right now. And there's a reason why so much retail is giving up. It's the FUD. The FUD causes retail to get out. The fear of losing $1. Because let me be honest. The number one reason people sell out of XRP is because they use money they can't. And they basically take the money from your savings, you put it into XRP, and you need it to move one way or the other. And when it falls too much, you can't afford the loss. So you have to get out. If you have the ability, it should be with money that you never need to. Like my money in XRP and that's on crypto, between the ledger and now what's on Uphold, that money and what's on, because I've transferred some of it, because now I've only got 6,100 on Uphold, but now I've got over 3,500 on BITUNIX. So now my money's starting to be split up. See what I'm doing here very strategically, getting it as I sell and getting it over to there. Now I can put it in USDC on BITUNIX. So I don't have to worry about United States Digital Tether, which is the only reason I was hesitant to even put it there in the first place. But as of the last update, they added in and incorporated USDC like I've been begging them to. So now I can keep it like that too. So it's a pretty interesting thing. Yeah, I'm selling. That's what I was saying. I don't have any way of. I'm not selling my XRP. Like that's one that'll stay there. XRM and XDC you build into as well. Or, like for me, it liquidated both of those when it was a little bit higher. I've got a real opportunity here to expand in a big way right now. Like, I've got it by the balls right now. And I had some really nice gains on both of those to begin with. So, especially XLM. And that one just happened. Gala is for game. Oh, man, you guys are so awesome. Gala is the one that I absolutely is up here because I'm trying to find a scenario where I can buy 100,000 tokens, but I'm not looking to drop 4 grand. If it comes down to 1,000, I mean a penny or 2 pennies, you know, now it's more like. But anyhow, notably the unveiled proposal seeks to expand the XRPL's DeFi capabilities, offering users more earning opportunities without intermediaries. Moreover, this protocol will offer fixed-term loans with pooled funds and preset interest rates. While bypassing the need for collateral, it relies on off-chain underwriting and risk management.
Can I ask you a baked potato question?
Yep.
What temperature?
Oops.
What temperature for a baked potato?
425. I like roasty,
Is it
toasty.
good to start it now?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see. So, let's continue reading this. Oh, is that it, Julie? Okay. I love you. Notably, liquidity providers deposit XRP or other tokens into a lending pool. Wait a minute, let's read this again. So, moreover, this protocol will offer fixed-term loans with pooled funds and set interest rates. While bypassing the need for collateral, it relies on off-chain underwriting and risk management. Notably, liquidity providers deposit XRP or other tokens into a lending pool to earn interest, while borrowers negotiate loan terms with the pool delegate who manages the lending pool. The protocol supports multiple lender single borrow lending pools for fixed term loans. How overdue are we for this as holders of XRP, for Christ's sake? Like, seriously, we're so overdue for something like this. Oh, XRP8 did a fantastic job during that dip. It gave a fantastic dip, and there could be more to come. But it definitely, we'll go over XRP8 before I leave, because the ironic thing with that is it hit that perfect consolidation and back tested the old formation that it broke out of perfectly. So specifications of the XRPL lending protocol. RippleX developers emphasize flexibility and reusability in the design of this proposed XRPL native lending protocol. First, they pointed out that flexibility is ensured by designing the protocol to be upgradable. Also, reusability is attainable by introducing usable objects across multiple future protocols. The RippleX developers introduced 3 specifications for the proposed lending protocol to cater to these features: XLS-64D, XLS-65D, and XLS-66D. Firstly, the XLS-64D specification enables the association of a single pseudo account with multiple ledger entries, allowing for tracking balances and issuing tokens. The XLS-65D specification, or single asset tokenized pool, introduces a new pool ledger entry representing a single tokenized asset pool. This facilitates interaction with minimal extendable ledger entries and flexible transactions. Meanwhile, the XLS-66D introduces the actual lending protocol. It leverages XLS-65D for managing liquidity provider assets. David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO, has voiced enthusiasm for the proposed XRP Ledger native lending protocol. He highlighted its capacity to bring fresh utility to the XRP. This would be huge utility to the ledger. One that would bring a lot more people that are holding XRP on exchanges to go to the ledger, take the ledger route. It would add liquidity, and it would add, if anything else, gas fees, and that would do nothing more. It should increase the price of XRP just by added traffic, suggesting that its adoption could notably elevate the ecosystem. Very excited to see the XRP Ledger native lending protocol proposal up for review and feedback. If passed, this could bring new utility to the XRP Ledger. Together with the native DEX, this lending protocol forms a critical pillar in enabling more accessible, efficient, whatever. But that's what they decided to show. And then we know what they proposed. Notably, this proposal comes hot on the heels of the XRPL implementing an automated market maker AMM functionality that allows XRP holders to provide liquidity and earn passively. Following amendment 2 days ago, enthusiasts committed over 820,000 XRP tokens to liquidity pools. However, the latest figures indicate that over 1.8 million XRPs are now locked in liquidity pools. So this is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. And I think as a whole, oh, we just got disconnected. Fantastic. My live just got disconnected. I'm not sure if I'm back. Yeah, I don't think it's working properly now. Darn it. Something's wrong. Something's going wrong. Cutting in and out? Okay. Let me try this one more time. If not, I'll just have to end the stream. I don't have high hopes of this working, but we'll see what happens. If that works, so be it. If not, I'll just end the stream now. Sounds good right now. Well, if the internet sucks, if you're talking about your internet or my internet, the internet is as bad as the providers make it all the time. I've got the fastest speed I can possibly have in my area, and it's still, you know, it is what it is. We deal with it as we deal with it. At least we know a workaround now where I force YouTube not to cut my stream off. I just shut my internet off as if I got disconnected. So I know it's bull crap. It's a real monopoly that they should be, you know. So while I have everybody's attention still, since the ones who stuck around were able to talk about this, first, let me go into XRPH because right now it's up 6.7%, 7.2 depending on exchange. We're going to the wider formation. But what we noticed on the back test, oh no, it's the other one. What we noticed on the back test is, look, we had the previous pattern formation before the breakout, and then we back tested it not only to the back pattern that we were previously in. Let me get my drawing tool out. We didn't just back test this. We also came through our descending triangle, which is a bullish consolidation. And we had this previous formation that broke out into a descending triangle. We came all the way down to back test the old formation, clearing every gap we had coming up. We filled the gap just now, which is very important. This has every reason why it could build up now. And the next target now is just, it's even more impressive from where it was at. There were buying opportunities all the way down, and that's how I got up to 55,000 tokens when it came down. But I didn't buy as many as I probably should have. But it came down to the 4. When it retested here, that was when I bought a little bit more. It was right around somewhere between 4.7 and 4.9. I think it was 4.79. But it built a nice reversal here. And if this plays true, we're looking at like 9.3 cents. Imagine for all of you that have been buying it with me, the majority that was under 3 cents. Then some around 4 to 5 now. But majority was 1.9 to 3 cents. And now all of a sudden we're sitting here. This is a beautiful consolidation. A lot of people gave up on this already. But I think this pattern's setting up in a way, but I still could see this if it did break down, or what if this creates a big M-topping reversal even? That could happen at 9.3. But if it comes back down, you know, we've back tested everything already. We back tested the initial breakout. We back tested the past breakout. And now we've even done a descending consolidation. We broke out. Now we're trying to back test this breakout as well. So if this plays out, this is very bullish. That is very bullish. And just from, even if you bought in right here, if this breaks out bullish, if you bought the back test, you're talking about a 95% move roughly. No, 93 from right there. So that's a pretty crazy move. From where it's at now on the back test, if this plays out bullish, and it definitely has a shot here. It's definitely got a chance here. And then I want to go into Gala before I leave. I've already talked about everything I can with XRP and Bitcoin and such. But this is a 57% continuation up to retest the, you know, the high here. Or at least that would break through it too, which is ironic. That could be a pretty interesting bullish scenario. But look at Quant, folks. If we don't think something bad's happening, look at Quant. I beg Quant to get to $40. Remember my stance? I beg it. Oh, God, I beg it. I beg it. Where was that target at I used to have? I used to have a target down here, and it was based on this formation. It was under 40. But I beg it to one day come down to this. And everybody laughs at me. But if it does, I'm buying. Oh, no, not 83. That's not the one. I would laugh at myself if I used that one. What the hell is going on? What am I in a smaller chart here right now? I am in a smaller time frame. Maybe I was being ambitious with 40, but I definitely thought that there was a scenario where it could come down into 40 if it played this properly. No, that would have to break that, so we're not even close to where I was saying. So, but I beg it for a scenario where this would break down and I could be in more of a value spot. But where it was at, it just, there's nowhere from where it's at but down. Unless we get into a great breakout. But anyhow, Gala right now, and there's a few. Remember, we rode from just under a half a cent to 1.7 cents amp, and then we sold it out for a reason. Now it's back down to 6.9. So there's a reason why I sold that out and didn't hold it, because I didn't want to give it all back, and we did it in 3 days. So, you know, you got to take some gains sometimes. But I am for GameCon as well. AMP is definitely one, and not for the same reasoning as I would say for Gala, but if you could find this at an appropriate spot, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on Gala. Gala's at 4.2 cents right now, down 10% on the day, or roughly. And we know our targets with Gala, and I'm excited because if Gala gives me the opportunity, I'm loading this son of a you-know-what up. And now it's starting to set up on a lot of these. Remember our low target like for Gala 1.5? How it was, if this breaks down, we'd have an ultimate buy down there, and it'd be fantastic. It almost looks like it's starting to set up for that catastrophe if we broke through this short-term uptrend. But the reality is, when it came to this uptrend, was a great buying opportunity, and that's what we talked about. Looking out into the far distance of 1.5 would be great, but the reality is, with GameCon coming up, we were begging for a rebuy, or just say buy in general, if it could come back down to that 4 cent area. Right now, we have to think long and hard if it holds this support, because this would be a fantastic spot to start dialing in. Especially if it holds this double bottom. And we're getting into a pretty significant overbought now even in the 4-hour time frame. The daily's going to work its way up into an overbought scenario. Even when the weekly candle closes now, Gala's going to find out. That's it. Jordan, that's it. Thank you. It's on another chart, but yeah, that bottom at $40. That's absolutely what I'm looking for. It was that $40 double bottom. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Jordan. But that's absolutely what I was looking at for Quant. Right on the money, as per usual for you, Jordan. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But with Gala, you very well could have started a head and shoulders or a topping reversal here as well. No, don't put yourself in that position. The only reason I say that, don't put your... No, please. Please, you can never put yourself within a liquidation zone. If you're going to liquidate everything, if it loses it, let me tell you something right now, my friend. So pay attention to that for Gala. I am very big on Gala games. Gets a lot of trash talking now on YouTube. But I'm telling you, it's set up for a reason with GameCon. But look at this. I didn't mislead anybody. I've told you exactly what I think is going to happen day in and day out, whether we're bullish or bearish. So at least I can be a voice of consistency, if nothing. Wow, 72 people at least stuck around after that debacle by disconnecting me twice. That's amazing. But with XRP, we see we're down 5.9%. That 50 cents is firmly what I'm looking at here for a double bottom, if we can hold it, or 49 cent area at worst. If it breaks through that, we know the targets. Bitcoin, same thing. We talked about 63,000 at the start of this. Seems pretty realistic if it continues to move down to fill out this overall formation. Unless, like we said, there's only one option here. And I tried to show it without putting the arrow, but I guess it would make more sense with the arrow. You could technically be forming something like this, more flat bottom here. But it seems to me, if it breaks down from here with Bitcoin, what reason would it hold, if it doesn't hold here, to not come down here to retest 60? It would be the third hit of the uptrend. In the pattern, we've already hit support, resistance, support, resistance. The next topic would be to hit support. So a lot of it's speaking to a little bit of more of a drop, like 3,000 points for Bitcoin. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. And then the XRP Bitcoin pairing down 4.42%. This is no surprise to our audience. We have the technical move down to 709, and then it really opens up something special. We failed the expansion here. We knew this was coming. This is our technical breakdown. You know, so now if it comes all the way down here, it could come to 709, but you also have a chance to hold. So, like, you do have a realistic chance to hold. And I don't want everybody to be like, oh my God, it has to come all the way down there. But if it does, it just, you know, it is what it is. But you really do have a chance to hold at right around the 7.7 area. So I should probably mark that in there just so everybody can see. But you do have a chance to hold near this region. So you don't have to come all the way down, because that could be a double hold, a double bottom hold. But that is very much in a descending structure. And at some point, this is going to have a big, big move against the pairing. And it very well could come after the halving. So everybody, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to go back inside, go see if Julie needs help, yada, yada, yada. Kids are all here. There's no school. So I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Have a blessed evening. If you're looking to trade XRP, make sure you look at BITUNIX. The lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. You don't need to use a VPN, so don't feel like a criminal. Like, that's my big thing. I don't want to feel like a criminal. If you don't want to use the KYC, you just have to deposit and withdraw to a different exchange. Or from a different exchange to deposit it from, and then withdraw it to another exchange as well. XRP right now, we're looking at this critical support. And yes, I know there's this 50 cents, but remember the handle support. And most importantly, this came down to 49 cents, roughly. So I would expect it to hit around 49, right around here, maybe even 486 if it's going to have like a W Gartley. But this is so oversold now on this push down. The daily's going to push into this oversold pretty respectively. And the weekly, when it closes, is going to clear up a whole bunch of space for a reversal. So don't get caught with your pants down here, because we're going to come into a buying opportunity now where we can expand to our holdings. And this is an opportunity, I believe, that won't come around much more often. Only because we're coming to a lot of conclusions here, and a lot of things are being implemented that are going to keep the price from depreciating as much. So pay attention to what's coming here. Hopefully the analysis helped. I thank everybody who tuned in. Have a